Hello again. Welcome to yet another episode of Media War Stories Behind the Scenes Tales from the front effing lines of the effing media. I'm your host, Tom Curley. How is everybody today? Uh, I think I've done too many of these. I'm, I'm, I'm bored. I've got to come up with a new intro. All right, here's the clown that I do these things with. Famous
Hi,
TV
hi.
reporter Gary Armstrong. Hi, how you doing?
I used
Oh,
to be
good
famous.
Lord. Yes, you used to be famous. I wasn't a reporter, but I played one on TV. So, any,
Oh my goodness. There are so many
I,
executives who
we,
would agree with you.
yeah. All right, so uh, again, this won't air for a couple of weeks, but uh, if John Oliver can do last week tonight, I can do 3 weeks ago today. So when this is recorded, the big announcement of the day, because it's a Wednesday and the Trump trial isn't going on, is Biden agreed to debate Trump. All right,
Oi.
which was hilarious. He put out a video and said, "I'm ready to debate. I understand you have Wednesdays free," which I thought was which was a, a
uh,
great dig. And the terms are apparently they want to do one in June and September. The first one with CNN, and the rules that Biden wants, that I guess they both agreed to, is that nobody in the audience, all right, be in a TV studio. Okay. Uh, Neither of them want RFK Jr. there, which makes perfect sense. I mean,
oh, I don't know why.
you know,
That would be
Mister
perfect.
Mister, yeah, I'd be perfect. Mister Worms ate my brain. However, the thing that they have agreed on is what to do with the microphones when a candidate's time is up. Biden wants the microphones cut off. In other words, when your two
Right,
minutes is up, your mic gets cut. Um,
right.
which I think is a great idea. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
I do. I do.
however,
They could,
but I have a much better idea of how to run these debates, and I have said this before. I did a get off my lawn a long time ago about it, but now I think it's more relevant than ever. And here's my idea. Okay, now you have to understand that in 2012, and this is a fact, all right,
okay.
more people voted for the winner of American Idol than voted
Oh,
for the President of the United States. And I think about that for a second. And you might go,
I
oh
am.
no, that's impossible. Well, no, it isn't, because less than half the population votes. Obama won by a lot in 2012, but more people voted for the winner of American Idol. And I have to say, what is it that they're doing right that the American government and we as a country are doing wrong? Okay. So here's what I
That's a great
propose.
question.
We
That's a
should
great question.
change. Yes, we should. Now, here's how we should do not the debates and basically the whole election process. Okay. Let's start with the primaries. Okay. We do it
Okay.
like March Madness. Say like we have 16 candidates. All right. So we put them in brackets,
Right.
just like March Madness. And we have
Yes.
16 debates. Now, here's where it gets cool. All right. At each debate, we don't have moderators. All right. We have judges. And I don't mean judges like court judges. I mean judges
No, I know
like
what you mean.
the judges for Master Chef Junior, the judges for America's Got Talent, the judges for American Idol. Okay. So at the end of the debate, the judges throw one of the people off. So now you've got 15, all right? And you keep doing that
Right.
till you get down to 4, all right? Now is where it gets fun, okay? They all have a debate, and the judges are there to ask the questions, but it's you, the American public, who decides which one gets thrown off, okay?
Got
Now,
it.
you can vote 10 times, either by email, text message, phone, message and data rates may apply. Okay, so now
Right.
you've got your 2 candidates. All right, so now the 2 candidates have to have at least 5 debates. All right, again, each of
Okay.
these debates is moderated by a different set of judges. But here's where it gets cool.
Right.
Each presidential debate, depending upon who the judges are, the candidates not only have to debate, but they have to compete in a competition. Say, like, for instance, if the America's Got Talent are doing the moderation, they have to do some kind of an act, a ventriloquist or a magic act or a dog act. Those are always great. If it's the Master Chef judges, they have to cook something using shrimp. All right. And this is how you do each one. Okay. So and
Yeah.
whoever wins the competition, right, gets an advantage. So like say like Biden wins the cooking competition using shrimp,
Right.
and he gets an advantage, like say an air horn, so that every time Trump says something, he can just go honk, right? So we do this now. So
I
now
love it.
so so now we get down to the actual election. All right. And again,
Right.
now this time, it's of course up to you, the American people, and you can vote
Yes.
20 times. All right. Once again, you can vote by email, by text message, or you can actually go to a voting booth and vote 20 times. And that's how it works. Now, at this point, a lot of you are saying, well, wait a minute, that's not fair because old people have a hard time, with phones and text messaging. And I
Right.
say, who the fuck
Right.
cares? Tough, tough, tough. That's what makes it interesting. All right. And then now
Yes.
other people are going to say, it's not fair. Voting 20 times is not fair. And I say, well, the line is one person, one vote. Is that any different than
Right.
one person, 20 votes? And and
Right.
and is it any more unfair than forcing people to stand in line for hours and hours? Is it fair to have only one ballot box that you can drop off? Is it fair restricting people to have obscure voting IDs? Is it any less fair than not letting college kids vote because their college ID isn't an acceptable ID? I say no. I think we should give it a try. And let's face it,
You know,
wouldn't you give money? Wouldn't you give money to see Donald Trump try to cook a perfect souffle using shrimp? That's my proposal.
you know, this is it's interesting, it's unique, it's B, funny, but C, and I'm sad to say this, but you brought it up, and I think it's on your mind, unless you have a worm in your brain that's telling you to say this. But the popularity of the game shows and going from category to category and having judges who are really participants in the game itself, that makes that's exciting, and that's why people tune into reality shows, which raises the question, and this is the sad part: why is it that we have to try to make the voting process more entertaining? Have we lost sight of how important it is to go and cast your vote? No, we have to make it exciting for you. You brought up the
I
idea. What
don't
is your
know.
thought on
I
that?
my well, my thought is, yes, obviously this is a joke. It's a bit, but is it? I don't know. I think, maybe it would work. Yes.
Well,
Well, look,
yeah,
we did elect a reality show idiot who somehow got elected
Right.
president. I mean, we he has we have degenerated the whole civic process. We have cheapened. We've just made, we have made life into a
Yeah.
bad reality television show. And I don't know
Yes.
what the hell the solution is. I have, well, actually, I do have, well, during, actually, I do have an idea. Um, if you look at it, okay, we have become a bad reality TV show. Reality is a bad reality
Right.
TV show. And so what I say is maybe, but you know where the government runs really well? On fictional television. All right. Go back and watch The West Wing. You know,
Yeah.
that was a great TV show. They ran the country really, really well. Look at Madam Secretary. Uh, all of these people are competent. So what I say is maybe we should replace all the politicians with all the real politicians with the non-real politicians. Okay? Let all the politicians, let's build a replica. Let's build a replica of the White House, all right, down in Mar-a-Lago or something, and let Trump pretend to be president. It'll air 24/7 on Fox News. They won't know that it's not real because they don't watch anything else. And then who's going to run the government? Well, how about real, non-real TV people? Like, all right, president. You got a lot of choices for president. You got Martin Sheen. He was Bartlett. You got Dennis Hastert. He was president on more than one TV series. Morgan Freeman has played the president more than once, and he's also been God. Okay. So you've got a lot of choices for
George
president.
Burns. George Burns.
There you go. Secretary of State. Well, what about Tia Leone? She did it every Sunday for, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 seasons, and I think we should just give her the job, all the way. Attorney General, the good wife, Margolis. All right, she was a very good lawyer and apparently a good wife.
Yes.
Now, here's where it gets cool. Secretary of Defense. All right, wait for
Oy.
it. Chuck Norris. All right. Chuck Norris as the Secretary of Defense, we could eliminate the military budget. We would not need a military if Chuck Norris was the Secretary of Defense. Because think about it, nobody fucks with Chuck Norris. I mean, can you imagine
This
Iran?
is true.
Death to America, we are going to invade. They just appointed Chuck Norris as Secretary of Defense. Shit. So it would go on
Right.
like that. I think it would work. I think it would absolutely work.
I
And we
love
seem
it.
obsessed
Secretary of the
with
Interior,
yeah,
Gary Busey.
Gary
This,
Busey. All right, explain that one.
this is. I keep saying it. This is funny, but it could work. It could work.
We've elected a bad reality show host. How about electing good actors who know how to play the role? I think
Right.
Gary Busey. Really? I don't. Secretary of the Interior. What does the secretary? What does the Secretary of the Interior do? Okay, I got it. I got
Go
it. I
ahead.
got it. I got it. I got it. Secretary of the Interior, the Lone Ranger. Huh? Okay. Right? I mean, he
Sure.
he he
Sure.
obviously he understands the Native Americans. I mean, hell, his best friend is Tonto. You know, yeah, that would be good. What other ones are there?
Secretary of the Treasury.
Secretary of the Treasury, Mr. Howell from Gilligan's Island. That would
Okay.
work.
Okay. I was gonna.
He
I
was
was gonna
rich.
suggest Willie
You know,
Sutton, but he's long gone. Well, I have to keep telling you, these are bizarre, but they would really work. But it still takes us back to the question of, and someone, someone, it may have been Stephen Colbert, I don't remember, but they were talking about how we keep focusing on Trump, they're bad, but they also raised the question of why is it, after all of the hue and cry, so few people go out to vote? it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you've just laid out an example for how you can make it more entertaining to entice people to vote. But in the real world right now, we still have this problem that I don't have an answer to why so few people, with all that's going wrong in the country and in the world, why so few people go out to vote. They blame it on the weather, they blame it on not feeling well, but yet they won't go out and do that so very important thing that could make a difference.
Part of it is education. Part we don't
What do you mean by that?
we don't teach social studies. I mean, I have to hope some schools still do social studies, but when we were in school, we learned that there were three branches of government. We learned,
Right.
what they were, how important voting is, and
Yes.
uh, and it's a lack of education. It's a lack of interest. I mean, the number of people, and I have many, many, many friends who do nothing but bitch, no matter who's in office. Ah, yeah, they're all idiots.
Right.
Ah, I
Right.
don't like that guy.
And then come election day, they stay home on the couch and bitch.
And they're proud of it. I've never voted.
It's
And I go, well then, you don't have the right to bitch. You don't have the right to complain about anything. Now we've got Trump who's going to run for president uh, forever. I mean, the the trial, by the time this airs, the Trump trial will probably be over, and I can't tell you, whether he's going to get convicted or not. Uh, but whether he wins or loses, if he wins, well, it's game over. If he loses, he's just going to run for president. He'll run for president in jail.
again. Yeah.
And the sick
Absolutely.
part is he'll make money. He'll make money. There will be people that will send him money no matter what. So who knows?
It's a tale. We'll steal from someone here. 'Tis a tale told of sound and fury, signifying nothing. I mean, people, somewhere right in this moment, people are yelling foul. They're complaining about the state of the country, and if you ask them about their voting record, they'll just give you a dirty look. They'll just say, "I didn't have the time. What's the use? They're all crooks." And they will still not have a legitimate answer
Yeah.
as to why they did not go out and vote. It just wasn't convenient. They were watching something at home that was great. They're too busy telling you what's wrong with the country and not getting up off their lazy behinds and going out and trying to do a very simple thing to deal with the problem.
I'm a little more attuned to this because, I do watch the news all the time because I worked in news for 40 years. So it's sort of a habit. And also,
Yeah,
we are
same here.
living through history, an amazing history. And it's sort of like a book you can't put down. And more, no, it's not like a book you can't put down. It's more like a train wreck that you can't take your eyes
Right.
off of.
When they run the Earth Day commemorations, and that was just recent, our most recent Earth Day, and we all know the state of the planet right now. I remember it, as I'm sure you do. The first Earth Day, it was a big deal. I know up here in Massachusetts, it was like a national event, and people were so excited about the attention, and they were excited about what this meant back on that first Earth Day. It meant that we were finally going to pay attention to the nature of our planet. And I know as a reporter, I did my story objectively, but in the back of my brain, I was thinking, this is really cool. People are really going to change, and they're going to pay attention to something that has been ignored for too long. That was 1970, so do the math. All these years later, has it gotten better? No, it's gotten far worse. And people don't really understand the history. It's gone from being back in 70 and that first Earth Day when it was a lead story and a big, big deal. It's now like a feature. And people just nod their head yes and say, oh, well, that's really nice. They've lost all sense of perspective.
So I don't know how we veered off on that. Uh, but yeah, it was something important. Now it's way the hell more important. Um, but again, I don't have an answer. I just don't have an answer. Every election is the most important election in American history. Well, the last one was pretty important, and this one
Yeah,
is
yeah,
actually true because this is the one where, this American experiment, everybody forgets something. We're the only country to ever create a government based on an idea, a concept.
right.
All right? We're not a we're not Germans, we're not French, we're not, Swedish. That's why we're a country. We're a country that was based on this piece of paper called the Constitution.
Right.
And it's an experiment. And we've been finding all the holes, all the loopholes that we either got to
Yes.
fix. This experiment could fail. It absolutely could fail. And I just hope that I just hope I don't live through it.
Well, whenever people have this kind of conversation, Tom, um, one of the people in that conversation group will say, "Okay, we're right. Things are really bad, but remember that this American experiment that you put it, no one else has it. So we can bitch and bitch and bitch, but consider the alternative."
All right, so we did it again, wasted another half hour. Let's quickly get to the plugs. Maryland's blog, Serendipity, Seeking Intelligent Life on Earth, Voicescapes Audio Theater for the best in audio theater and drama, half-hour radio show. Still funny after all these years. My sister podcast, Get Off My Lawn with Me, where we talk about life, the universe, and anything having to do with the number 42, and a project that I really want you all to listen to. It's something that I was tangentially involved in, and it's something that's really important in this election year. It's on our channel here. It's called Between Americans. I really, really hope you will check it out. And until the next time, all I can say is see ya.